Hey, what's going on, guys? Fjordur here, or SK, coming at you with another how-to ARC video. I've had a couple requests on how I was able to get Sinomacrops to spawn on my Fjordur map, so I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough of how to make that happen. It's actually pretty simple, and I've got the line of code, I guess, that you'd need, and I went and made all the important parts bolded so we can just kind of tackle it step by step. I'll show you how I decided where they were going to spawn and kind of go from there. So obviously this is the code. This is just a sticky note that Windows has, and then over here I've got the Fjordur spawn map. I've got the spawn entries, which we'll get to in a little bit, and then people are asking specifically for how to get Sinomacrops on Fjordur, so I had the Sinomacrops page pulled up. So you'll need all three of these links, and I'll go ahead and post those in the description as well, so that you can make the appropriate edits that you want. So what I did initially was I just picked a creature that it would make sense, right, for the Sinomacrops to spawn next to, not replace, but spawn next to. And for me, that was the Dimorphodons, right? So all I did was I just went here, looked for Dimorphodons, and it shows on the spawn map here how, where they spawn on the map, right? And then what I did is I just went through and kind of deselected some of the containers here. That's what these are called. This Mountain Hard Gen 2, that's what they call a container. So I went ahead and got rid of that one, got rid of that one. I just basically went through and, because I didn't want them spawning everywhere on the map, right? You don't want them to take over. And then I got rid of the ones where it wouldn't really make sense, right? Like Sinomacrops probably wouldn't spawn at the volcano, right? It could spawn at the bog. Like I said, it's really up to you guys to choose which ones you want. The one that I ended up going with was the jungle. So I just went ahead and got rid of everything here. So all that's left is the jungle container. So what I went ahead and did was, oops, this still says swamp. I was doing some testing. This is actually an old line of code, but originally I was having them spawn at the swamp, which was ideal, right? Because they're kind of located in one spot. But what I ended up seeing was that they were spawning in the bear caverns over here as well. Ridiculous levels, like 400 plus, and those aren't tameable. So to make it easy, I just switched it to the jungle. Still getting a lot of spawns here, and that may have just been the way I had it set up, which, I mean, I was fine with, just because I like Sinomacrops. I mean, who doesn't? If you didn't, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, right? So I felt like this was a pretty good balance. So what I did next was, and this was on the Fjordur map, or the modded version of it, but here for the official map, we just go down to Fjordur. I was going to try and wait to make this video until they had all the containers actually listed out, but you just hit expand, and then basically what you do is you just copy and paste whichever container you want into this first line here. So where it says DinoSpawnEntries Swamp, that would say jungle, I believe. I don't know if the jungle is actually on this one yet. Let's actually look up the Fjordur mod, see if we can find the spawn containers there. You might not be able to, I don't remember where. Oh, you know what, actually that was in this one, I think. Yeah, okay, so I found the where was it? And this is just in the Fjordur mod page. Yeah, so DinoSpawnEntriesJungle. It took a little bit of time to find the right one, but yeah, so I just copied and pasted DinoSpawnEntriesJungle into here. So I'll go ahead and make that adjustment now. We don't really just copy and paste the whole thing, but jungle, boom. So now we know that the Sinomacrops are going to spawn in these areas, right? So we just told the game basically that we're making an adjustment to the spawn table, but by specifying this container, right? Well, now we need to name that container, so I just put SinoJungle. That could be whatever you want. It could be SinoSpawn, could be, Fjordur's Handsome, it could be whatever you want, right? So what we're going to do now is tell the game how frequently we want it to spawn. So whenever a new creature spawns, I told it that I want there to be a 7% chance that it would be a Sinomacrops. Keep in mind that these containers, this isn't just Dimorphodons, right? There's a bunch of different dinos that can spawn in that container. So what I told it was that I wanted there to be a 7% chance when a new creature spawns that it would be a Sinomacrops, or that it would be the dinosaur that I want, right? Because we haven't actually gotten to that point yet here. So it goes, you know, in a scale from 1 to 0.01, right? 0.01 being 1%. So I set it to 0.07 because that would make it a 7% chance. Next, we have to tell the game what we want to spawn there, right? And that would be the Sinomacrops. So I went to the Arc wiki, looked up Sinomacrops, and then down here you can see, you know, under the spawn command where it says cheat summon Sinomacrops character underscore BP underscore C, you just copy and paste that. Boom, right there. And you actually have to do it twice. I don't know why. I don't really code or anything like that. I really just followed a template on, I think I was looking at the Giga. There's an example on how to spawn them, or so, I forget the page, but yeah, so then you just paste that here, you paste it again here, and then max percentage of desired number to allow would be 0.01. And that basically just means that there can never be more than 1%, like 1% of the total dinosaur population on the map. It can, Sinomacrops can never be more than 1% of the entire population of the map. So that's pretty much the whole thing there, the whole line of code there. I hope I broke it down well enough that, you know, you guys could understand. And this doesn't just work with Sinomacrops. You know, let's say we wanted to do, why does this keep popping up? I don't know. Let's say we wanted to do, what isn't? Okay, let's do text writer. Okay, you would do the same thing, right? So if we wanted it to spawn at the volcano, you would look up something that you know spawns at the volcano. So let's do basilisk, because we know they spawn there. So you just, you know, you'd have this here. You could go to, I mean, obviously this is the modded version. You would go to the spawn containers page for the official one. Like I said, I'm just doing the modded version because the regular one, like the official one, is incomplete. So you find the entry that you want. That in this case it would be Fjordur underscore volcano underscore DinoSpawnEntries. You paste that where you want them to spawn. You name it whatever you want. This could be, you know, anything really. And then you just come down here, expand, and then it would just be the text writer underscore character underscore BP underscore C. You don't put the cheat summon in there. God, I hate this thing. God, how do I get it away? And then, you know, you just do the same thing. You tell the game what percentage chance you want it to be so that it'll spawn. You put the dino ID in there twice, and then I would probably say it's safe to leave this at 1. If you want them to be more rare, probably, or like, you know, the less population, you could put that at, you know, 5 or 0.5% or whatever you want, 0.005 or something like that. But yeah, that basically wraps it up. So I'm going to tell you where to put it now. I don't know where the local files are, but what you can do is you can just copy and paste this into your game.ini. If you're running a server, you know, Nitrado, Gportal, all those guys, there should be a way to find the game.ini, but you just kind of copy and paste that at the end there of that document. You save it and you're good to go. You just restart your server, do a dino wipe, and you'll start seeing Sinomacrops spawning in on your map. I hope that covers everything. I know I kind of went through it kind of quickly. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave you know, a comment down below. If this video helped you, consider leaving a like, and if you're not already, hit that sub button. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, be safe, don't do anything I would do, and until then, we'll see ya.